All right, I guess we're live now, huh? So I'm gonna go just a couple of minutes earlier because I saw, I believe some people over. Well, Henry said it's pretty late. We're here. Henry, where are you at? Whoa, it's good. I'll turn that off. Henry said that he is. It's like what 2 a.m. where you're at. Let me know where you're at. But Nori's here from Hungary. Wee's here from the U.S. Sergey, what's going on? I just actually saw Sergey and Rod, right? They were at this guy, Free 99 English. He doesn't live all that far from me. If I wanted to get to his house, I think I could get there in about 5 hours, maybe 4 or 5 hours. He lives in Canada, New Brunswick, Canada. Naima, what is going on? Akio, how are you? Shref's here again. All right, nice to see everybody. Naima, yeah, that was fun at my school. I didn't expect anybody to be there, so I thought I had more time, but I felt a little bad. The guy was wanting to get in there and mop, so I spent an hour, and I was like, I'll get out of here. Rod from Brazil, what is going on? Oh, man. Thanks, Rod. I appreciate it. Sean is the guy that has the channel at Free 99 English, and he was playing Kahoot with English terms, and it's a game that I play with my students sometime, and he's going to be doing a live stream on Mondays. Right before, he did it like an hour before this time, so whatever time it is in your country, it's 1 hour before now, and I guess he'll be doing that once a week. He just got back into YouTubing, so I found him through Bob the Canadian. Larissa is here. What's going on? Mary, what is going on? I'm working on the Office video. I've already filmed it. Now, I had to mention Mary because she seemed pretty excited about the Office. After I made it, I didn't know Naima was a fan either. But I'll mention you, Naima. I mentioned Naima in a video before, and Ibrahim. I had to mention him, of course, because it was his idea. This chair is a little squeaky. It's a little squeaky. I need some oil on it. Who else? Nicholas, what's going on? From Chile, right? I think I've asked that a few times. Chile. Angie, welcome. I believe you are fairly new to the channel. Thank you for your support. If you are new here, I think there's a little picture of my face down there. So you can click on that. Sorry you have to click on this face, but click on that and then I think you'll subscribe. So Sean is in the house. What is going on, Sean? From New Brunswick. Even though he is from Canada, I think he and I sound very similar. We have almost the same accent, which makes sense because we live so close to each other. So anybody who is ready to fire some questions through, let me know. And I'll tell you a little bit about the Office video. That should come out tomorrow at about 10 a.m. New York time. I'm maybe a quarter of the way finished editing. But I want to make sure the subtitles are perfect, and I want to make sure some of the difficult terms will flash as I say them, and also some pictures if they help. I say flipping on their bike, doing bike stunts, and I thought people might not know what flipping is, so I put a little picture in there. So just to try to help you learn English as best I can. Oh, Nori, are you also an Office fan? And like I think I said it in the video, or I've said it in a previous live stream. So The Office is 10 years old, right? But all of the language is current because people my son's age, my daughter's age, they are getting back into the series because of Netflix. So it's all coming back. All of the language that was popular 10 years ago is coming back. Elena, welcome. How are you? Jamie, thank you so much. Oh yes, Wee. So if I am correct, Wee's sister broke his computer. I hope she's watching right now. and he had to get it fixed. So therefore he couldn't join us on the live streams. He's back. So I think he did PPE. Oh, yes. PPE. Yeah, so Aniko, if you are watching over in the western part of the world, let's say East Asia, thank you for joining. I think Henry is, so I appreciate it. So PPE, I actually did, I think 2 videos, I mentioned this. It's personal protective equipment. And yes, nurses will wear it. It is equipment that protects people, and it's things like gowns and masks. Yes, I did a vlog, I think last week, where I went to the doctor's office. And while I waited, a woman, I believe she was a nurse, came out fully clothed. It's a hard word to say. Fully clothed in PPE. So, gloves, mask, face shield sometimes. I think I did a video, COVID-19 vocabulary. If I was a really good YouTuber, I would link that video, but I'm not that good. So check that out if you would like. Rafael from Brazil, what is going on? What's the difference between run and jog? You know, those things are pretty much the same in this way. Somebody might say, hey, I'm going out for a run, I'm going out for a jog. That would be the same exact thing. But if you're talking about the speed, it's more likely jogging would be slower, but not always. Arrone, how are you? Arrone, what's going on, man? Okay, pee-pee. What? Nori says pee-pee. I missed that. I do talk about urine. I do talk about pee in the Office video. And if you want to watch the episode tonight, it's called Conflict Resolution. So, Conflict Resolution, episode 21, season 2. And Dwight is said to order deer urine over the internet. He orders deer pee. And I mentioned how hunters will bathe themselves in deer urine. And yeah, I guess it attracts the male deer. All right, so I got a little off topic on that. Surplus. Good question. That means when you have too much of something. And PPE is something we don't have a surplus of. We have a deficit of that. So a deficit is when you don't have enough. A surplus is when you have more than enough. So of course, you would like to have a surplus of money. That would be very handy. But we have a deficit of PPE. Sometimes there aren't enough masks to go around. So Naima, I hope everything is well in Algeria today. Efficient and effective. Can those be interchangeable? I would say that yes, efficient. If something is efficient, it works really well. So maybe as it gets warmer here, we have can I turn this here? We have an air conditioner. Where is it? An air conditioner over there. Actually two air conditioners. And you would like them to be efficient. And that means they run well. They run well if they are efficient. But effective air conditioners, it would mean that they cool off the room. So they're pretty much the same. Efficient. You want a workplace to run efficiently. But maybe you want your advertising to be effective. Effective means it would change somebody's mind or change the condition. So those are a couple pretty difficult words. Get my camera here. And they mean almost the same. Almost the same. I hope that helps. All right. Yeah, Weed's exactly right. CDC, it is located in Atlanta, Georgia, actually, in the South, Atlanta, Georgia, and it is the Center for Disease Control. And that is what our president and his main doctors, that's what they listen to make effective, changes when the COVID virus outbreak is a little bit more or a little bit less. So the CDC is very important. I actually mentioned the CDC in that COVID-19 vocabulary video. I made that a while ago, a month or two ago, kind of early in the channel. Henry, I thought you were the Henry. I almost said, hey, Henry, but I didn't know you were in Sean's channel, Free 99 English. I almost said hi, but I think you're kind of a newer subscriber, so I didn't recognize your last name. I should have just said hi. Wait, William, what's going on? Buongiorno. A boomer. Are you talking to me, Nori? I think we've already established that, yes, I am a boomer. I am a boomer when it comes to technology, but I have my phone now live streaming and I have my computer. A little bit of an upgrade. Upgrade is a term we use in English to say that you've improved on something. So maybe you had an older phone, but then you get an upgrade to a newer phone. Or maybe you had some slow software and your computer was lagging. We've talked about that before. Maybe if you upgrade to some new software, your computer will run more efficiently. I'll try to use efficiently and effective throughout this live stream. Maybe it will be more effective in helping you learn English. All right, man, Sean is out of here. Nice. Get ripped. Yeah, I might be bouncing around a little bit. I just saw my name highlighted in red. So Sean, man, have a good one. Yeah, get ripped. Let's talk about this, Raphael. If you are going to work out, maybe during the COVID quarantine, your goal is to get ripped. That means you would be working out a lot at home. Unfortunately, my goal has been to eat more and to gain weight. I'm doing a great job at it, but I might try to get ripped instead. You can also say, and I think I've said this in a video as well, get swole. Get swole. That is spelled correctly, even though spell check said it's not. And that just comes from swollen. Swollen. If maybe if you get stung on the lip by a bee, your lip would get swollen. And so if you were getting ripped and working out, your body might get swollen, get a little bit bigger from the muscle. So some people say get swole when you beef up. Maybe somebody would say that too. If you start working out. Rod, are you gonna start hitting the weights? Start hitting the gym? Crushing it? Actually, I've seen your picture. You look like you're in pretty good shape already. Hectic day. Yeah, absolutely, Mary. I'm sorry if I'm skipping some of these questions. Not skipping, just missing. So if I do miss your question, feel free to ask it again. Just please don't spam. Luckily, we haven't had too much trouble with spammers, so thank you for that. Yeah, hectic day. Jamie and I will use that all the time. Since the quarantine has started, of course, there haven't been that many hectic days. But if our children have a couple different activities, maybe my daughter has a voice lesson, where she learns to sing better. My son might have a hockey practice, and then maybe my wife, Jamie, you might know her, she might be coaching. So we might have a hectic day, work all day, and then have to go to a couple different places. Yeah, hectic is a term we use often. Ozma, how are you? Nguyen, what is going on? Thank you everyone for joining the chat. Henry's wondering, what is the temperature here? I don't know. I think it might be probably 62 degrees Fahrenheit. When I checked on my phone about a half hour ago, it was 60. And of course, Fahrenheit. In America, United States, we have to do things differently. But it's actually quite pleasant out here. Yeah, Brian, welcome, by the way. I noticed that each day it's getting a little bit more green in the back. And I don't know about you guys, but I love the color combination of green and blue. It just makes me think of spring. May is a pretty good month in Maine. Pretty good month. It can be a little buggy. We use that adjective when there are a lot of bugs out. We might say buggy. But September and October might be the two best months around here. Still pretty warm, not too cold, not many bugs. Khalifi, what is going on, my man? Oh, Henry, that's interesting because he says there is a supermarket called Woolworths, and it is tricky to pronounce. In Australia, we used to have, I think it was a clothing store, Woolworths. I don't think it was a supermarket. But yeah, that is a bit tough. Woolworths. That TH with an S at the end can be tricky. Mary, we use the term doze off quite a bit. And when you say doze off, that means you are just maybe not even taking a nap. Maybe you're not even taking a nap. Maybe you were sitting in a really comfortable chair, watching some TV. Maybe you had had a hectic day, and you just kind of realized, oh, whoa, just happened. I must have dozed off for a second. Dozed off. That is pretty popular. We use that quite a bit. Oh, you hear the birds? Thank you, Nori. So if 68 Fahrenheit, so we might be 18 Celsius, maybe something like that. It feels really nice out here. Sergey. Me too, man. I feel your pain. I feel you. I feel you. We say that sometimes when you understand somebody. I feel you. Sergey. It's the only part of my body that's getting swollen as well is my stomach. Oh, Naima, you learned swollen here. Very nice. Oh, yeah. Gleb. I looked up your name yesterday, by the way. Squeaky chair, sorry. I looked up your name yesterday, and I'm not saying it exactly correct. And I learned I don't have a Cyrillic. I know what your name starts with. It's like a half a square, and more pronounced like maybe Gleb. Gleb. It wasn't a hard G. It was a softer G. I'll try to get better about that. Gleb. Something like that. Yeah, this is awesome. It's real. It's real, but it's a good time of year to be outside. What? Henry? Bite me? All right, so bite me is not a good thing, actually. It's a minor, it's not a swear really, but if somebody, my sister-in-law is walking by, but if somebody did it's, if you said that to like a stranger, those could be fighting words. And sometimes we leave off the G there, fighting words. if you told someone to bite me. It's just like a bunch of these like, screw off. It's not like that harsh. And especially if you knew the person well, you could say it kind of jokingly, like, oh, bite me, bite me. But be careful who you say that to, because they could be fighting words. What's going on? Jamie just said hello through the door. Bite me. All right, I'm sorry. I'm all over the place here. All right, we is saying, what do I think about Trump saying that children need to go back to school soon? I mean, I agree that the children we do need to get back into school, but I'm wondering if the cases of coronavirus are so low because children are not in, oh, thank you, Gleb. Thank you. It says my pronunciation's all right. Because children are not in school. You can imagine when you have almost everybody from one house going into schools. You know, almost every house would be represented, or at least a lot, in the school. And then going back, there's a lot of transfer of diseases, contagious diseases. So, but I do think children need to get back to school. I just don't know if it's so safe. In my town, since some of you asked about the coronavirus, yesterday we got some pretty bad news that in one of our long-term care facilities, it's what we call it, where old people go, old people homes. Okay, it's not exactly correct English, but you might hear old people home. There were 3 cases of the coronavirus in that home where older people live. And they tested all, I think it was 500 people that either worked there or live there. And they are going to be getting the results back. But those 3 people, and I don't know why they tested them, they were all asymptomatic. Asymptomatic. When you put a in front of a word in English, often, it means not. So asymptomatic means they weren't showing symptoms. If you are apathetic, that means you have very little feeling or very little emotion. I think we've talked about apathetic in here before. If something is not typical, you can say atypical, atypical. Yeah, it's hard for me to type and talk at the same time. Nori, yeah, I would say about 18, yeah. Nice. It's not fake, I promise. All right, Asma. It is getting brighter out here and harder to see. Let's see here. Let's see here. Leak, lack, and lake. Ooh, leak, lack, and lake. Let's talk about leak first. All right. Let's say you have a pipe, and of course that should be keeping in the water, but let's say you have drops of water coming from the pipe. We would call that a leak. Some people, some men, gotta take a leak. Whoops. Not so much with the women, but if they have to, we're talking a lot about pee today, aren't we? If they have to use the bathroom, if they have to urinate, if they have to pee, you might hear them say, hey, I gotta go take a leak. Gotta go take a leak. So there's a leak, little drops of water. What was the other one? Lake, lake, lake. That's just a small body of water, lake. And then I think the other one was lack, wasn't it? Lack. Lack means, yeah, lack means it's missing something, lack. So it would definitely be deficient. think we talked about that, or a deficit. So what could you lack? Maybe I lack the knowledge for speaking Italian very well. Lacking knowledge means you're missing some key points. I definitely lack the knowledge on how to fix most of my house. I lack the knowledge on how to fix that leaky pipe. And leaky is the adjective. You say, I have a leak in my house. I have a leaky pipe. Wow, it's getting bright out here. And I am all over the place. I'm sorry. So sorry. Nicholas, this is very similar to some questions we've had in the past. So this is good. We can build on this. Oh. So improve and boost and upgrade. Wow, that sun is bright. They're all very, very, very similar. In fact, I think depending on the situation, you can use them interchangeably. So, yeah, even with technology, you could say, nah, I don't know if that with a new phone, if you could say, I think upgrade is the best one for that. But if you want to improve your English, if you want to upgrade your English, if you want to boost your English, like all three of those work in that case. All right, Sharef, I'm sorry if I think I might be missing some things. Is it better to use as well in place of to? Yeah, sometimes it's really a good idea, especially if your sentence, watch me not be able to think of one, when you are going to have like to the other one towards the end of the sentence. Sometimes we have to say, if to is right next to the other type of to, as well is a good way to say it. So I want to go to the store as well. I want to go to the store too. I can't think of a sentence right now, but to and as well, interchangeable. And sometimes I use as well. How about this one actually? To. I have two, like, so let's say I had glasses of water, right? And let's say I have two of them. I don't know why. Maybe I'm double fisting. That's a new term, maybe. Double fisting. We often talk about that with alcohol, but double fisting. And maybe I could say I have two, or I have two as well. I have two as well. So the TWO one. Yeah, good question. Good question. Now, Nguyen, thank you for staying up so late, by the way. Skeptical and doubtful are actually synonyms. They both mean the same thing. If you're skeptical about something, you are also doubtful. Maybe you have a picnic scheduled for tomorrow, and you might say, yeah, I'm skeptical it will happen. It's supposed to rain. I'm doubtful it's going to happen. It's supposed to rain. They both mean the same thing. All right, so work through and get through. Get through with. Okay, so you say get through with. So if you have something difficult, you could work through it. You could get through it. But when you add the with at the end of get through with, that actually means you have finished. So I believe almost every time it means, I believe so. I've gotten through, getting through. That's throwing me for a bit of a loop there. So if you're talking about some homework, you might say, I need to get through with this. It means you're like, I need to finish this. But you might say, I've gotten through the first 3 chapters. So adding that with And I can't say every single time, but it often means finishing rather than working on. Oh, Asma, there's no real difference between occupation and career. No, but those two, they are a little bit elevated. My gosh, it's bright. They're a little bit higher than just a job. So if you just say a job, that almost implies, you see that B? That almost implies that you're not really happy there. Maybe like teenagers working hourly, they have a job. But if you have a career, that's way higher. That means that's what you want to do. That's what you studied to do. And an occupation, very, very similar. Pretty much the same. All right, Larissa is wondering if I live far from downtown. No, not all that far. I guess if I got in a car and drove the speed limit, I could be probably downtown in 5 minutes. So it's really nice. There's a lot of woods around me. So it is kind of in the country, in the sticks, as we might say. That's what some people call the country, in the sticks. But it's still very close to a lot of stores that we need. In fact, if we needed to go to the supermarket or the grocery store, we could be there maybe less than 5 minutes. Tricky and complicated, Rod, are the same thing. Bluffing. Oh my gosh, Mary. Mary used bluffing. I actually talk about bluffing in the Office video tomorrow. All right, I think I've done pretty well with the questions. I'm gonna go back up now. Okay, it's not 18 out here anymore. It's probably 22, maybe. It feels nice. Nice sun out there. All right, Nguyen, you're welcome. You're welcome, and thank you for staying up so late. All right, I'm gonna go back up through here, okay? Oh my gosh, Nguyen, what did you do to me? Whew. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's try to get through these words here. All right, delude. I'm not sure. Am I saying it wrong? So if you delude, that means you, let's say you have some medicine that's like a powder. You can dilute it in water. Delude, right? Jamie, can you make sure I'm saying this right if you're still watching? Delude means that you are like breaking up something into water. You're making it less effective if you dilute it. Dilute it, right? Not dilute. Dilute it. And the next one, lost my place. Oh, deceive, cheat, scam, and trick. Whew, okay, that's easier. Those are all the same. Those are all meaning that you are possibly lying to someone. If you trick them, scam them, cheat them, and deceive, 100%. You are trying to take money from them, possibly. But delude, I'm a little thrown on that one. I think that means something different. Delude. All right, Angie, what is going on? We often say me either. Man, either and neither. I need to brush up on my neither and either. Me neither. I would almost think if I am saying that you are agreeing with someone that they don't like something, you would say me neither. Me neither with an N. At least to my ear, that sounds better. So if we are just talking about strictly speaking, me neither sounds way better to me. All right, so Nguyen is asking about right means the right man to get married. How about for a female? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. How about this? Are you talking about best man when you're talking about getting married? Okay, you might be talking about that. Well, let's talk about that then, okay? Best man, that is the groom. So that's the dude. That's the guy that gets married. Got the groom, then you got the best man. Got the best man. They are really important in the wedding. The best man, I think, gives out the ring. It's been a while since I've gotten married. But the woman is called the maid of honor. All right. So the bride's best friend is called the maid of honor. Now, Jamie, hopefully she's still watching. If that woman is married, I believe we call her the matron of honor. You don't hear that term as often though, maid of honor. Sometimes even if the woman is married, she will be called maid of honor. Maid of honor. Yeah, Mary, blow the whistle. That means you give up a secret. That means maybe there was a surprise party and you actually told the person that they were having a party. You would have blown the whistle. You would have blown the whistle. We actually have a law here. I can barely see that. I do know how to spell whistleblower. If it's spelled wrong, it's because it's too bright out here. But a whistleblower law, that's if a company is doing something wrong. Let's say they are scamming their customers, to use an earlier term. The whistleblower might go to the authorities, rat them out. We've talked about that before too. Rat them out. They might rat out the authorities, but there are laws that protect that person from being sued. So whistleblower is someone that tells or rats somebody out, but they're actually protected by law. And there is a whistleblower complaint, I believe, right now with our president, President Trump. Thank you, Jamie. So matron of honor, matron of honor. If I have missed your question, I'm sorry. It's really bright out here. I'm trying my best. I do believe I've missed some though. Answer it again if you want. I can even barely read names. Amina, I think. You might be new. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. We do this every day. I believe this is number 52. I can't promise that it's 52 days in a row because I went 2 days, twice in one day, but we've been doing this for more than a month. And many of you have shown up almost every day. And I've been talking so much, I forgot the question. I just copy and pasted it. Window shopping. It's a great term. Window shopping. That means maybe you don't have the money, or maybe you're not looking to buy that day, but you're just looking. Window shopping means you can go into the store. You don't have to look from the window, but it means you're not interested in buying anything that day. You're just looking around, not wanting to spend any money. All right, there were a bunch of questions at the bottom. I will get to those. Sorry if there are questions above me. Sergey, what is going on? Yeah, I can explain that. call dibs. It's almost like shotgun. If you are familiar with shotgun, and that has been used in The Office. So if you're an Office fan, you might know shotgun. I know Aroni knows it. I believe Mary knows it. We've talked about it. Shotgun means you see the car, you call shotgun, and you want that seat. It's just like calling dibs. So maybe, I think you said something about a piece of cake. And let's say everybody had gotten their piece of cake, but there might be one left over. And before you're done eating, you might just look around. Uh-oh, people still look hungry. I call dibs on that cake. That means you want it for yourself. You're not in the position to take it yet, but that's yours. When everybody's done with their cake, or when you're done with yours, that's mine. The last piece of pizza. My sister-in-law again. Last piece of pizza, you might call dibs on that. All right. Nguyen, what is going on? And I know I've been answering a lot of questions from just a couple people. I hope you don't feel like I'm just, when I see the question, I'm just thankful I can see anything right now. And I know I've answered Nguyen's questions quite a bit. They are good. And I think you're up pretty late there in Vietnam, aren't you? Ignorance is bliss. That means sometimes it's better not to know. That's exactly what that means. And I'm using that right now because when this coronavirus first started, I was watching the news a lot and it was making me nervous. I saw all the cases. And a couple weeks ago, I thought, you know, I'm not going to watch as much. I don't want to know as much. We're going to try to stay safe here, but ignorance is bliss. I'm happier because I don't know exactly what is going on. Ignorance is bliss. I hope that helps. Sometimes it's better not to know something. Nicholas, what's the mood for? Where's the mood for? I'm not sure I know what that means. What's the mood? The mood, what's the mood for? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the mood. I mean, the mood, you can have it. Did we talk about this yesterday? I think we talked about vibe. So mood and vibe can be the same thing. They can be. And there might just be a mood in the room you're not comfortable with. Maybe it's just, maybe you're in a bad mood. That's just your temperament is another way to say it. It's just kind of the general way you're feeling. Hope that helps. I don't know, Henry. I don't know if I don't know where shotgun came from. I don't know. I don't know. I can only imagine if it does come from a gun. Shotgun is the seat right next to the driver. So maybe if there was like some crime committed, you would have the driver and then the person in the passenger seat would have the gun. They're riding shotgun. I don't know. I don't know. I hope not. You're welcome, Nguyen. Hey, boy. All right, Aquino, I think you are saying ball out. What does ball out mean? That just is maybe could be a little reckless. You're just going for it. We also have and this is similar. We also have something called balls to the wall. Some people think that this means a man's testicles. It doesn't. It doesn't. Balls to the wall just means you are going to go for it. You're not looking back. You're just going to do it. Balls to the wall. But where that comes from is from pilots, like jet pilots. And if they take that throttle, that thing, and just go boom, right to the front wall, that means they're going really fast and they're just kind of being maybe a little reckless. But you don't care. Balls to the wall, going all out. Balls out, I think means the same thing. I don't think you said bail out, balls out. All right, somebody is a walking dictionary. Oh, Nguyen? Nguyen's a walking dictionary? It's good to know. Good to know. Oh, so Jamie has a thought on where shotgun came. Oh, okay. So with a shotgun, I don't know a lot about guns. I'm sure you PUBG people know more. But so apparently a shotgun only has one bullet. And then you can have something called the double barrel shotgun, which probably has two. Double barrel. The barrel, the gun, the long, depending on the gun, it's where the bullet shoots out from. It's called the barrel. Right. All right. Oh, Cyrillic language, Cyrillic name. Hello. Big truck going by. I don't know if you can hear it. It's maybe Vladimir. It's a B, but I know it starts with a V. So if you have something done, let's talk about the things that you could have done. Maybe I think I've talked about that tree behind me. It's dead. I need to have something done about that tree. And that implies that I can't do it myself. It's a little too dangerous. I have to have somebody else do it. I need to have that done. What else? Get something done. There's another. Have something done. Maybe it could be medical too, because you're not going to do your own operations. So you might say, I have to get something done about that ankle that's hurting me. I have to get something done. So it means you can't do it yourself, but you'll find someone who can do it. And most likely, you're going to have to pay for it. My goodness. It is bright out here. I'm sure you guys are sick of me saying that. Bright out here. All right. Okay. Mary. I don't think Jane Austen said this, so I can answer it. I was bulldozed into something. That means you are forced. I was forced. Somebody forced you. If you were bulldozed into it. All right, Henry. You lasted a long time. It's got to be almost 3 o'clock there. See you, Henry. All right, Nikita, let's talk about Sunday here. Let's talk about Sunday. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got this one. All right, Sunday morning driver. They're definitely boomers. They're definitely boomers, okay? They're old people. Boomers. I don't know if the sunglasses will help, but thank you. I don't even know where my sunglasses are. Sunday morning driver means they are driving very slow. And maybe you have somewhere to go and they're in front of you and you might say, what is up with these Sunday morning drivers? So slow, so slow. And then Sunday best, it comes from people dressing up to go to church on Sunday. So your Sunday best, you're dressed up. We talked about dressed up on this live stream before too. So you are maybe wearing a suit, you're wearing a nice dress, you're looking rather posh, even though Americans do not say posh. All right, so I mean, either suitable. Okay, so it looks like Nori is on the neither and the either thing. Thank you, Nori. Grammatically, I probably should brush up on the neither and the either thing, but it's definitely not something that I teach my own students with neither and either. And I remember we've talked about, and I believe Cecilia helped me out with this one, whether neither or either are singular or plural. I believe they're singular. And also she helped me out with the numbers. Yeah, don't worry about the sunglasses. I can't see, and I don't know where they are. I hardly ever wear sunglasses. And Jamie and I talked about this on a live stream just on Friday, but with darker eyes like I have, I very rarely need sunglasses. But this sun directly overhead, my man. Thanks, sir. See, maybe this helps. Now I can't see anything. Whew. I don't think that helps. Do I look cool though? That's all that matters. These are, and Jamie mentioned this on Friday. We both buy cheap sunglasses because we always lose them, or I sometimes sit on them. I forget that I put them in my seat when I drive, crack them. But yeah, it helps if I didn't have to read. This is actually really nice, but I just can't see to read. All right, let's see. 90s vibes. Hey, I'm a boomer. And my face is rather big. You have to look at it you've been looking at it for 45 minutes. I need big sunglasses. So, but see, that's the thing. I don't care. People may say, hey, I hate your sunglasses. They cost me $5. I don't care. I'm already married, right? All right, Brent. Yeah, Nikita, sure. Okay, so slightly different questions there. We have still in my state of Maine, we have a couple towns. One of them is Old Town, where basically indigenous people, that's a term we use. Indigenous means they were here before Europeans. So indigenous people, there's a town called Old Town that's just basically set aside for indigenous people. And there is a special license plate that you can get that goes to helping fund Wabanaki schools. Wabanaki is the name of the indigenous tribe here in Maine. So there is if you are in the 6th grade in Maine, you have to do a unit on the Wabanaki. The social studies teacher, they're required to teach about the indigenous people of Maine. And unfortunately, there are not as many indigenous people in the United States as there used to be, of course, for various reasons. Most of them not a good thing. But yes, there is a pretty good sized population of indigenous people in Maine. And in some states, they have been hit particularly hard by the coronavirus. Indigenous people. Yeah, for some reason. And clam bake. That's a big thing in the state of Maine. Did you do some research on that? Clam bake is basically the clams, right? If you're familiar with that little animal that lives in the ocean. And people will just get together. Instead of having a barbecue with a grill, they will steam clams. And a whole party will break out for a clam bake. Yeah, wow. I don't cook clams, but they're not very difficult to cook. You just pretty much boil them in water. And when you serve them, you should serve them with 2 dishes. 1, water. Just clear, plain water and butter. So the clams can often have some dirt in them, just because of the way they, live on the floor of the sea or the bottom of the sea, and people will dip them in the water to clean them, and then in the butter, which makes it that much better, and eat them. So yeah, it's good. I don't have many, I don't have clams very often. Oh, Cecilia, just Zabeda, what's going on? Cecilia, I would say that I don't have a Maine accent. I've tried to get rid of it. And some people around me do have a Maine accent. Mainers, they might say Maina, a Maina. They don't pronounce their R's. Similar to a Boston accent. I think my laptop is overheating. Similar to a Boston accent where they don't pronounce the R's at the end of the words. So kind of a famous Maine Boston thing would be, I'm going to park the car in the yard. So I'm going to park the car in the yard. They might say I'm going to park the car in the yard. So Boston and Maine, pretty similar. Aroni, snitch and a whistleblower. Yeah, the connotation though for snitch is a bad connotation for snitch. Whistleblower has a good connotation, but yes, both rat people out. But if you rat somebody out, that has a negative connotation too. All right, just a couple more here. I think I'm gonna get out of here. One, because my man, Sergey. I did say that. I often call, my son, like, my man. That's just, maybe like a bro thing. Maybe like two guys might say, what's up, my man? What's up? What's up, buddy? So it's just a little something you might tag on the end there. My man, what's up, my man? Yeah, Mary, absolutely. If you say, you copy me, that it actually means, do you understand me? Can you hear me? You copy me? Yep. And we've talked about this in a live stream before. They might say, roger that. Roger that. If someone says, you copy me? Roger that. Or you could say, 10-4. I don't know where that comes from. Back in the 70s, before the internet, there were these things called, we call them walkie-talkies. The military might use them, but 10-4 was another way to let somebody know you heard them or you understand. 10-4. 10-4. Uh-oh, I totally missed Nikita's question about designs of something. Thank you, Jamie. Oh, Men in Black, Gleb, right here, Men in Black. Yeah, I think they have Ray-Bans, so those are very expensive. These are, they're Reebok. Reebok, I think, is known for making shoes, not so much sunglasses, which is probably why they were $5. Made in Taiwan, though. So that's where all the good stuff comes from. Taiwan. Yeah, I can't see. I can't see to read. Be nice. Amina, thank you so much. She says, a nice view. It is a nice view. I wish I could see more. See, any other questions here I've missed? Any? Oh, 5-on-5? Cinq on cinq? Is that it? Cinq on cinq? Something like that? These are cheap. Cheap sunglasses. All right. Whoa. When? These are good questions, though. I like this. There's a lot of different... Okay, she just wrote it, right? So, Nguyen, lukewarm. And we often talk about water being lukewarm. And just for that, I need to take a drink. Lukewarm is, you might hear tepid too. It almost means the same. It's just it's just on the cusp. It's just on the edge of being warm, but a little bit coolish. So if somebody had lukewarm coffee, they probably wouldn't be happy with that. It wouldn't be hot enough. And if you had lukewarm water, you probably wouldn't like that either because it wasn't cold enough. But you might like your bath to be lukewarm. It's definitely not too hot. Lukewarm water might be good for taking a bath. And the other one, oh, nonchalant. I believe that comes from the French as well. Nonchalant, it means you're just, you might walk into a room nonchalantly, meaning like you don't have a care. You're not really worried about anything. If someone is nonchalant about life, they might not take things too seriously. Pretty easygoing, as we might say. But in the workplace, if you have to really get a job done, nonchalant wouldn't be good. You might be a bad worker if you were too nonchalant. Good words there, though. All right. Why don't we end it there? My eyes are burning. And I could set it up inside, but I don't know, where my kids are and who wants to be seen on film, camera, internet. So why don't we end it there? I am going to work on the office video, try to get that out, try to have that premiere tomorrow at 10 a.m. my time, so 2 hours before this live stream started. I'll remind you, hey, subscribe, all that stuff. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you for showing up every day. Might do 2 live streams tomorrow. Jamie is working at night, so I might hop on here to try to connect with those like Henry, where it's really late where they live. So it might be a little bit better for them. So thank you guys so much. Can't see much anymore. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be lucky if I can even get out of here. So thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little bit.